All right, welcome back. Apparently they're going to be back at it at the Board of Aldermen today talking about this issue with the Rams settlement money. I've pointed out a number of times here, Kim, that not a dime of it's going to public safety. I mean, maybe for a building upgrade or something, but not for more cops on the street.
I think it's like a 911 dispatch center,
maybe,
something like that.
I don't know exactly where their priorities are down there. It's certainly not going toward any of the homeless problem either. And I noticed this post on social media by our friend Elliot Davis, formerly of Fox 2 News, and I asked him if he'd give us a few minutes this morning. Elliot, good morning.
How are you, buddy?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for agreeing to join us for a couple of minutes this morning. I you've been so active in the community since your retirement. I think the last time I saw you, I'm like, dude, it's like you're still working.
Somebody said I was going to have to go back to work to get some rest.
I could see that for sure. Your post, for some reason, I know it was a couple days ago, but your post about renting a dumpster for some of the trash that has piled up downtown near the homeless shelter. I wanted to ask you about that. What has motivated you? I mean, why hasn't the city stepped in down there?
Well, this was at the homeless encampment. And this, of course, is a move by, independent people who've set up tents there. City didn't set this one up. This was folks who set up tents and everything down there. And there was a old dumpster there at first that somebody had put there. This was during the summertime. Anyway, filled to the brim, couldn't be used anymore. The city just left it there, did nothing. And I finally pressed, and the city finally got the waste management company to haul that one away. But what they didn't do was put another dumpster there with a way to have it periodically emptied. And I kept pressing the administration, pressing Mayor Tashara Jones and her administration to do it. They did nothing. The garbage was piling up for months and months since the summertime. It was just piling up there. It was crazy. I went to the health director. She admitted this is a problem. And she did her study, kicked it up to the mayor's office, still nothing. So finally, God really put it on my heart to do something myself. So I rented a dumpster for them, really big dumpster so they could put the trash in and with arrangements to have it emptied every month. But when I rented the dumpster, Mike Avery, sorry, Mike, and some other folks basically organized volunteers to come down and pick up to help the homeless. The homeless are part of it. To help them pick up all the trash. The church rented a second dumpster so that they have enough to put the trash in. And so now it looks dramatically different.
Well, and maybe this is why the latest poll shows Tashara Jones not doing so hot. Kara Spencer was significantly higher in the poll that we saw. And I think that also plays into what was done with the snow removal. Many people talking about how they basically had a sheet of ice on their street for weeks.
They have been tone deaf. I've been trying to get Tashara Jones, Mayor Tashara Jones to put in a warm-up bus for the homeless, the same as Mayor Lyda Cruzan had done, so the people would have a place to go when the temperature we got down to 4 degrees. And so many of them are just wandering around the streets. Some of them don't have any place to go. They used to have the warm-up bus put up by the city. Now some of the homeless groups have to try to cobble together their pennies to do it. But the cities used to do it, had this bus out there. Homeless would come, they could get warm. Then arrangements would be made to get them to the shelter. On cold days, like bitter cold days, they would have the bus out there at noon. Tashara Jones refused to do that. A lot of things this mayor has refused to do it. I just think they're tone deaf.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think it may be reflected.
I'm being nice. I'm being nice this morning, Mark.
I appreciate it, Elliot. We noticed we're down here at Olive and 12th Street. There used to be Homeless Park in the Fireman's Park over here across the street between us and City Hall, and they put up fencing around it a year and a half ago, and they've never removed it. It says it's a reclamation project, but they've never done any reclamation. They just wanted the homeless out of there. They just move them around like chess pieces.
I remember when I think the DNC was going to have some event, and Kamala Harris, I think, was coming in for that meeting of the DNC, and then the mayor had the homeless removed from City Hall. She says it wasn't connected, but it causes the average person to say,
Yeah. She didn't want that tent right outside of her office window when the vice president came to town. Yeah. Elliot,
So
listen.
it has been just something that God put it on my heart to do it. The mayor wasn't doing it. I said, I'm going to do it. And when I got involved and did that, other people who felt the same way, they got on board and made it happen, and the place looks a lot cleaner
Well,
now.
glad that you've still got the bully pulpit to get that done. Elliot Davis with us, and he's on Facebook, and you can follow him there and kind of keep up with him. Elliot, I'd say enjoy
Elliot
your
Davis on Elliot Davis TV.
Yeah, Elliot Davis TV on Facebook, and keep up the good work, my friend. Stay in touch.
Thank you, buddy.
All right.
Bye.
Take care of yourself. Appreciate that. I saw Elliot up at the Veterans Day Parade in Florissant this year. He was their keynote speaker. He stood up and said a few words. So it was good to see him again.
He was at Guns N' Hoses, too.
Yeah, I did
He
see him
is
down there on the
everywhere.
floor. You're right. He's been all over the place. You wouldn't know he's retired for sure. All right, that's going to do it for us. Couple of committee nomination hearings today. Kim reported this earlier. Maybe, what do we say, RFK Jr.,
Yep.
Tulsi Gabbard. Looks like Pam Bondi might get a floor vote at some point. So we're going to be keeping an eye on that all day. Brian Kilmeade will have more on that for you coming up here next from Fox. And, of course, Annie and Mark later this afternoon. Have a great Tuesday. Kim, Carl, and I will see you tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.